All right, you guys, let's talk about Nicki Minaj. I see the panic, I see the freaking out online, and I also see the think pieces talking about an album rollout that is still 1 month away. Now, this actually sounds quite interesting, right? Why are people so worried about an album that is still a couple of weeks away? I honestly believe that people are so excited with anticipation that they just want to see something now because they know Pink Friday is gonna be that girl. Now, in this video, you guys, I actually want to include Beyonce. Now, while I love Beyonce, I think that she is one of the biggest icons of our generation, I also feel that she is on the same level as Nicki Minaj. Both of these women have dominated their respective fields. And I also noticed that Beyonce did not get as much backlash as Nicki is getting when Beyonce, she didn't really have a rollout either. But that is what I really want to get into. Now let's talk about it from the beginning. So Nicki Minaj was on Instagram and Twitter earlier today, and she did post a tweet. Now this tweet did have Michael Jackson. You guys remember about a week ago, there was a lot of shade thrown online from Cardi B, her husband, Nicki, Kenneth Petty. You guys know that Offset is a huge fan of Michael Jackson. And so when Nicki Minaj posted this, a lot of her fans, quote unquote, jumped into her comments saying, girl, why are you posting this? Why aren't we focused on the album rollout? Why are you being messy? Now, mind you, a lot of these people, although they have Nicki Minaj profile pictures, well, they're not really bars. I believe that they're the carbs. And I believe that they are trying to distract Nicki Minaj and her fans, okay, to pretty much cover up that bozos flop, in my opinion, allegedly. Let's wake it up. What do I mean by this? Well, nobody's really talking about the fact that Bozos, okay, isn't doing as well as anticipated. So to see all this drama surrounding Nicki Minaj, her husband, and now people talking about her album rollout is messy when she hasn't even started yet, it just seems so strategic and so calculated. And again, you guys, this is my opinion. You guys can make your own decision and you guys can debate it down below. So let's talk about Beyonce. Billboard actually did a whole breakdown about Beyonce's Renaissance rollout. Here are some of the things, right? Beyonce did not have the traditional rollout, right? We did not see her going to do like a bunch of photo shoots or interviews. She was pretty much very old school with the way that she teased and also released this album. Now, Billboard started with this. On August 10th, 2021, this is where we saw Beyonce do an interview with Harper's Bazaar where she said, I feel a renaissance is emerging. On June 11th, we then saw Beyonce's album first get hinted on her website where fans noticed B7. Now, the actual album was announced a few days after this. On June 20th, we saw Break My Soul, okay? It was just a little blurb on her Instagram, and pretty much she didn't say much about it, but people did anticipate it was a new song. After this, we did see the track list, and after that, we did see Act 1 get posted. The interesting part about this is two things. I believe when it comes to music, there are artists that pretty much exist in the music industry to shift the culture, to shift the vibe, right? From the start, we have seen that Beyonce's Renaissance has been different. Okay? It's been more transparent, more conventional. And she also said this on her Instagram. She said, this was a place for me to be free. Okay? This is a place where I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to overthink anything. And I do feel like that is kind of where Nicki is going with Pink Friday too. According to Billboard, there are also several points that Beyonce did follow, and I also believe that Nicki Minaj is following as well, which makes sense to why she's going for a more conventional rollout. For example, one of the reasons Billboard feels that, Beyonce took a more conventional route to a rollout is because she wanted to go against the new norm. We see this with Nicki all the time. What does Nicki say, right? I didn't need all of these things to be successful. Billboard also talks about the fact that Beyonce was dropping hints about the album through editorials. Who else did this? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj dropped a hint at Barbie World Premiere. Nicki Minaj dropped a hint at the VMAs. Nicki Minaj dropped a hint on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Nicki Minaj has consistently dropped hints about her album through media publications, again, to build anticipation for the release. All of this is a part of her conventional rollout, but it doesn't mean that's all she is going to do. And if we really want to be honest, let's go back to the Queen album. Do you guys remember the Queen album? She had the release of Chun-Li, but what's interesting about the Queen album is that most of her interviews were done after the album was already released. Nicki talked about the fact that she loved people to listen to the music before sitting down to talk about the album. There were no complaints there. So this is why I'm so confused as to why people are trying to force her, into a strategy that has not worked for her in the past. And it does make me question why that grace that is given to Beyonce, right, is not given to Nicki. I mean, Beyonce literally told her fans, you are the visual. Okay, B? B not playing. You are the visual, baby. Okay? I live for that away. I live for B. She pretty much said, you are the visual, right? Why does this happen? Because Beyonce knows who she is and she knows how important she is to the culture. And I think that's why people are freaking out. People are freaking out because they're so excited and they want her to start now. It's not about it being messy. It's about the fact that you guys want the music now. And that's not how it works. People keep talking about, well, last time I saw you needs a video. For what? I'm just trying to understand. For what? She is getting ready to release a lead single. Why would she be putting out another video for a song, right? That's not a lead when she should strategically be focusing on her lead, which she is doing. You also have people saying, well, Nicki Minaj should stay off of Twitter. Nicki Minaj should stay off of Queen Radio. Let's address, okay? I have one question, and that question is this. Has Nicki Minaj changed since she started rapping when it comes to accessibility and when it comes to her fans? The answer is no. And that's what makes her Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has always been accessible to her fans. This is why we ride for her the way that we do, because we feel genuinely that she is a part of our family. How can you ask her, right, to not be who she is and then demand her to do all these different things for an album rollout that don't even fit who she is as an artist? It's almost like we have people online who look at some of these other artists. Did I go there? We're going there. Ooh, Nicki needs to go do an interview. Nicki needs to be Nicki, right? Because now everybody wants to talk about Nicki's rollout. People talking about there's a bubbling hate train. If y'all don't see what's happening, I don't know what to tell you. For example, are we still talking about the fact that Bozos flop, allegedly? Or do we have people with fake Nicki Minaj profile pictures talking about Nicki's album rollout? Why aren't we talking about Bozos flopping? And many people may say this is a conspiracy theory, but I do believe that there are people in the fan base with Nicki Minaj avatars who don't like Nicki, who are cars, who pretend to be Nicki fans to distract. And so then we get into the fact that people are saying, well, Nicki needs to stay off of social media. Nicki needs to do this. Nicki needs to do that. Nicki has been running her career very fine, for 15 years. And that's why she's the best-selling female rapper of all time, because she knows what she's doing and she's not new to this. And as fans, if we are going to be holding her down, it is important and imperative that we not allow others to come in here and disrespect her, all because they're super fans and can't wait for the album to be released. What about having faith in her? Y'all did the same thing with Super Freaky Girl. Same thing. And the video, rollout, everything was amazing. And then everybody want to get quiet. We love you, Nicki. And so I just don't understand where this is coming from, right? Now, are there some things that I think Nicki Minaj could fix? Absolutely. What are some of those things? I do think that Nicki Minaj's personal life has overshadowed a lot of her artistry. Do I think that that is going to in some way hinder Pink Friday 2? Absolutely not. But it does take a toll on her image. But again, right? These are things that we know and have to accept because this is her life. There's also situations where people are like, well, who is working with Nicki? Does she have a team? I mean, Nicki does post the names of people who have been working with her. Let's go ahead and pull up a picture on Instagram so we can go through some of the team names, because a lot of people seem not to know that she has a team. So for Pink Friday 2, all right, I did pull up the cover art for Pink Friday 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nicki Minaj's team. Now, I want to specifically talk about Pink Friday 2. As you guys see here, Nicki Minaj did reveal the cover art. Her stylist, Maher, hair, Arrogant Tay, MUA, creative direction, Pat McGrath. She also says, Queen Pat, thanks for being a part of this. You have her makeup artist, Hot Like Fire, nails, all right. I think it's Ardes Secretly Nailed, and the photos, Charlie Chops. So when we talk about a team, here is her team. The interesting part about this is it is a click away. Nicki Minaj has these things in progress, but these things take time. Think about the album like a child. This is something that she is going to be birthing. Right? TMI, I know, but this is something that's very precious to her art. And so she's going to do what she needs to do and take her time until it's right for her. And even if that means we don't get the album on that date, or if the rollout is a little bit late, that's her prerogative because this is her art. So now that she has a team, we've established that, right? We've also established that she's doing nothing different than we saw Beyonce or any other artist do, right? What's the actual problem? Is it really about the album rollout? Or is it about the fact that people want music from her now? And hell, people may say, oh, this is delusional, this, and that. No, I'm telling you, this makes no sense. Nicki Minaj could drop an interview tomorrow and you guys would find something wrong with it. Oh, I don't like her hair. Who put her on those shoes? I don't like that color on her eyes. It's always this, or that. Have you rolled out anything lately? Matter of fact, have you rolled the couch and went to work? Hold up. Have you rolled out of your bed, okay, before typing on Twitter to manage Nicki? No shade. Have you rolled out on your life? And this is why I wanted to open the conversation. Like I said, there are things that Nicki Minaj can fix, absolutely. But I appreciate what she's doing. For example, let me tell you how I know this is all being orchestrated. And I know people are going to be like, no, it's not. Listen, Nicki Minaj is on Queen Radio, okay? Instead of being messy, she brings upcoming rappers to showcase their talent. She talks about her artists. What do we see in the headlines? Nicki Minaj hangs out with her goons on Queen Radio. You have bloggers and journalists allegedly, and that Nicki Minaj is in the studio with goons, when we know goon is also associated with the word thug. Nobody's talking about the fact that she's giving upcoming rappers a look. But because the lie and the sabotage sounds so much better, this is what we see online. And this is why a lot of the general public right now, because they're not seeing the truth in the media, they may be saying things about Nicki that we don't like. You also have DJ Vlad coming out talking about Nicki Minaj. DJ Vlad, go home. Allegedly. And look, I have no issue with DJ Vlad, but his paragraph meant nothing. You have DJ Academics talking about random stuff. Random. Not one of them, all right, has said anything positive. So with that being said, you guys, what do I think? Well, I feel like a lot of fans have pretty much forgotten about some of the things that Nicki has been teasing over the last year or so. I remember Nicki Minaj also was teasing a collaboration with Instagram. You guys know Instagram does work with huge artists for album rollouts. I mean, we saw Shawn Mendes and a lot of other artists utilize this promotion. And so I want to finish with this. While I do think that Nicki Minaj obviously has room for improvement, I also think that prematurely calling her album rollout messy before allowing her a chance to actually prove herself is just ludicrous, and it does no good for anyone. You guys want things on your terms, and you don't realize that that's not how the music industry works. And let's be very clear, Nicki Minaj's chart performance has been formidable. She has amassed, more hot 100 hits in this span than many artists achieve in an entire career, including 2 top 10 hits this year alone. We're all excited, you guys, for Pink Friday 2, right? People People are loving Last Time I Saw You. The anticipation for this album is at an all-time high. As Nicki Minaj continues to tease this album, I believe that this fuels, not only her devoted fan base, but also the general public to see what she's going to do next. Give her a second. Give her a chance. Hold her down, And remember, she's done well for herself for 15 years. And I feel like if we have faith, she will always meet those expectations. So let me know what you guys think about it down below. How do you feel about the rollout controversy? Do you believe, that Nicki Minaj needs to rush through a roll? Are you willing to wait and see what happens? Also, what are your thoughts about Nicki Minaj, being online? Do you guys think she's too accessible to her fans? Or do you appreciate that because that's who she's always been? Also, you guys, I am having a wonderful fundraiser for my son to attend a Stanford gymnastics meet. So I'm going to leave my Cash App down below. I would really appreciate it if you guys can donate for this cause. I really, really love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. We will talk very soon. Bye.